Me and Cillian used to live together in Santa Monica. It was about 4 guys in a converted office space in Santa Monica, and 2 of the guys are Irish. And when 2 of the guys are from the beautiful island nation of Ireland, best believe there ain't gonna be no lights turned on ever. These guys hate sunlight. Literally hate it. They come from a bog environment, a bog climate. So pretty much everything in the apartment had to be dark and wet.
Yeah, I have no rebuttal. The apartment was dark.
The apartment was dark and wet, and you were making chicken pesto pasta just about every night.
Me and Liam would turn off all the lights, and Alec would like come into the living room and be like, "What the fuck are we, vampires?" And like turn on the lights. But the reason was they were like these like hospital lights, and they were like super bright, and they gave me and Liam a headache. So we fought Alec till the day we moved out.
Station identification, you know what it is. You're hooting and hollering, you're scooting, you're slobbering. It's Big Al's Grill ASMR. Episode, I believe this will be 60.
Wow.
You know how crazy that is? We've been going for just about more than a year. And I'm here with one of my best buddies, one of my good friends. You might know him as the extras in Peaky Blinders. You might know him. Nah, I'm kidding. We'll cut that. Or we'll just leave it in, yeah. No, but this is one of my best buddies, my boy Cillian Dunne, a favorite of the podcast, back once again because he's got some important things to share with us that I felt like could not be accurately portrayed on just maybe an Instagram post on Grid or maybe an Instagram story. Cillian's an author, an auteur, and he's recently dipped his fat, stubby potato toe into journalism. And I'm really excited to hear what you got to say. Yeah. I guess I'll let you talk now.
Okay, great. It was all of my toes, first of all.
Yeah, did you dive in?
I fully dove in. Yeah, all toes. I moved, in a nutshell, I lived in Panama over the course of 2 years with
first of all, let the people get to know you a little bit.
Who I am?
Yeah, well, just like favorite food, favorite color. Okay, we'll do like kind of college icebreakers.
Yeah, okay. So I'm Cillian.
Okay. Hi, Cillian.
Cillian Dunne.
Everybody say hi.
Dunne's my last name. My favorite food is chicken pesto pasta. I eat it like 3 days a week.
Yeah, we know.
If I was on death row, I'd still order chicken pesto pasta. I love it. And my favorite color is blue.
Favorite color is blue?
Yeah, that's why I wore it.
All right, if you were like stranded on a deserted island, like what would be the one thing you had to have?
Anything.
Yeah.
Unlimited water.
This guy.
Yeah, I'm logical.
Yeah, this guy's definitely in the engineering program.
I'm logical like that.
This guy's real crafty. Okay, which one of these co-eds do you want to absolutely slap around? God, dude, this is why we don't get anywhere on the fucking YouTube SEO. Talk about naughty things within the first 2 minutes almost immediately. It's good to see you though, dude.
Good to see you.
I've seen you like forever, dude. Me and Cillian used to live together in Santa Monica. It was about 4 guys in a converted office space in Santa Monica, and 2 of the guys are Irish. And when 2 of the guys are from the beautiful island nation of Ireland, best believe there ain't gonna be no lights turned on ever. These guys hate sunlight. Literally hate it. They come from a bog environment, a bog climate. So pretty much everything in the apartment had to be dark and wet.
Yeah, I have no rebuttal. The apartment was dark.
The apartment was dark and wet, and you were making chicken pesto pasta just about every night.
Me and Liam would turn off all the lights, and Alec would like come into the living room and be like, "What the fuck are we, vampires?" And like turn on the lights. But the reason was they were like these like hospital lights, and they were like super bright, and they gave me and Liam a headache. So we fought Alec till the day we moved out.
Yeah, that was a big problem with the lights. I mean, when you're living in a converted office space, you know, there's a reason they have the fluorescent lights on in there because they want people to be working harder. However, when we have them on and you realize it's just a living space, it's very traumatic.
Yeah.
However, I mean, we had no lights whatsoever. We didn't even have lamps. We had no like basic lighting that wasn't overhead fluorescent LEDs on your brain.
Yeah.
And you know what my favorite part, you know what was great? Right when we moved in, we watched 2 weeks straight just IRA documentaries on YouTube. That was a lot of fun. I feel like I learned a lot. You know, talk about some resistance, brother. Hey, we could maybe use an IRA here in America because things are a little goofed up.
Okay, I can't really respond to that. But what I can say is that it was a very educational time for us.
It was a very
in that
educational
apartment. We exclusively watched documentaries for a long time, if you remember.
We were learning docs, dude.
Yeah, we were learning.
We were crushing. I will say we also, I learned about the Fontaines DC living with you guys.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about it. Like what I think you and Liam really excelled at was putting on a YouTube music video or live concert before we went out to the bar.
Yeah.
That would almost always hit so inherently different. Like when I heard "Gimme the Night" for the first time,
yeah,
I sprung a leak.
Yeah.
In my pants. And I'll tell you what, not out the front way.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, in the style falling. Do
you remember Skibbereen?
Do I remember Skibbereen?
Yeah.
I remember I tried to show you guys Selena.
Yeah.
Selena live from the Houston Astrodome, the 10-minute disco medley. Pretty good.
We got on that pretty heavy.
We were on it heavy.
I added that to my Spotify playlist.
It's underrated and not talked about enough how often people will just throw on a live concert, just hanging out with the boys. I think there's nothing better than just, hey, this is the band that's going to play in my living room for an hour.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay? You might not hear all of the hits from Smash Mouth, but I'll tell you what, you're going to hear, I'll be like, oh my God, they sing that song? I mean, Smash Mouth's a bad example, but.
Yeah, that's a Scooby-Doo example.
That's a Scooby-Doo.
That is a Scooby-Doo example.
Yeah.
Right.
I was in the car playing Turnstile for Cillian, and he goes, oh, I know this band. They were in the Scooby-Doo movie.
Couldn't have been more wrong.
I was like, the Scooby-Doo movie?
But Smash Mouth is
They're like,
definitely...
yeah. They were like, when they got onto Spooky Island, they were playing this song. I remember. You remember?
I was wrong.
Daphne got in the mosh, Velma.
Yeah, but Smash Mouth is definitely in the Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, they are for sure. Scooby-Doo movie was the last, I think, real cultural sighting of the puka shell necklace before it became camp. Right? It's like that. You ever see that picture on Instagram or not Instagram, but you ever see that picture of the last Barbary lion going through the desert, those mountains? That's what it was like watching the Scooby-Doo movie and being like, oh no, these people are wearing some puka shell necklaces and frosted tips and meaning it. This isn't like, hey, guess what? I'm Gen Z and I'm fucking, I'm 3 purple drinks away from killing myself. It's, these people are like, nah, dude, life rocks and I just got a longboard.
That went so hard back in the day.
It went so damn hard.
Yeah. That was like the coolest.
Now all we do is recycle. But I like your look. You look like a real journalist.
My journalist look. It's brand new.
Cillian said he's just going to dress like a journalist from now on.
I've got 2 outfits. I was just in Panama for like all of September and I met with their like leading newspaper called La Prensa. Like all these like veteran journalists that were reporting on the dictatorship like at the time. Like it was like the real deal. So I purposely dressed in like Central American cargo pants, like the sort of baggy ones you'd see from like movies in like the 70s and the 80s. And then like a dark green, almost like army colored, like short sleeved collared shirt. And like a little baseball cap. And I like walked in there feeling like I was like in Apocalypse Now. But that's the intention. So
you walk in, they're like, I know this guy's from the Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, that's always my goal. But yeah, this is outfit number 2 of my journalist look.
When you were in that press room, and you say there's currently a dictatorship in Panama.
No, not currently. There was a dictatorship between 1983 and 1989. This guy, Manuel Noriega. He was, he was like a military strongman that took the throne after the previous dictator was mysteriously killed in a plane crash. And and Manuel Noriega was like a CIA asset. Like he worked for the CIA, DEA, and he was like a US government, like a huge ally in Central America, because they used him to like stop the spread of communism in a bunch of different countries.
Right.
That was the intention. So that's what the book was about. But I went to the offices to like meet with the journalists to have like an article written up about it. But a lot of the people that work at that like headquarters are still, you know, they're like a bunch of old guys who were young guys reporting on all that stuff as it was happening in the 80s.
It's got to be fascinating. I mean, did you ask them about, like, you know, the mood and sort of how they went about reporting on things that could very well get them arrested, tortured, harassed?
They were badass. Like, Central American journalism was no joke. Even up until like 15 years ago, I heard this story. We went to, like me, Jack, and Jose, who I'm sure you've heard about. Mm-hmm. We all went to like a Cuban restaurant for breakfast, and as we were like waiting for our coffee, Jose pointed over at this table, and he was like, at that table like 15, 20 years ago, there was like the president of Panama was just like sitting there with a bunch of guys. Some dude rolled in off the street on a motorbike, whipped out a handgun, shot him in the chest in the middle of a restaurant, and then just walked out. And like it was basically just like a free-for-all, and journalists were like really sort of afraid to report on that stuff because they might catch a bullet too. So a lot of these guys are like veteran journalists. They're like the real deal. And they feel very strongly about like the dictatorship. And, you know, you brought up like the name Noriega to one of the guys, and he was like, if I even bring up that name or like that time period to my parents, he's like, they start crying like instantly. It was super brutal. But yeah, I looked at it from like a different lens, like more so from like a US Panama, like a foreign relations kind of perspective, as opposed to like a civil rights perspective of like the poor citizens that were like the most affected.
Right, but I mean, you must have been, because let's kind of like start from the beginning. You did a good job summing up who Noriega was, a CIA asset.
Yeah. As
a CIA asset, what was his biggest like strength for our country, or that they were using him for?
He was like hand selected out of like a military school in the 50s, this military school in Peru called the Chorrillos Military School, and it was there where he met like a bunch, like the CIA had basically just started, like they started
the military school.
The CIA didn't start the military school, but they started hand picking like these teenagers that they thought would become strong assets for the CIA, like as they sort of grew older and like progressed in their careers in their various nations. So Noriega was, you know, like top of his class, like.
Why don't you come around?
I'll come around. Major intelligence asset, and he, you know, he caught their eye, and then he just sort of rose the ranks in Panama in the 60s, and then there was like this big coup in 1968 where the first sort of real like modern dictator of Panama came in, and Noriega became his chief of intelligence like right away. Yeah, and then after that the CIA just started like communicating directly with Noriega because like they knew him and they had known him for so long, and they like in a way they trusted him even though they kept him at arm's length.
And did Noriega know he was being groomed essentially for this?
Totally, yeah. He was, I mean, I never met the guy. He died like 7 or 8 years ago. But I talked to family members. I like interviewed journalists. I interviewed like a ton of people, and most importantly, I lived with his right-hand man.
Yes.
For like an extended period of time.
He's a very important part of the book.
He is the book. Basically, he's like 2/3 of the book is from his perspective, and 1/3 is from my perspective as like a journalist, like investigating it.
This is my perspective.
That's yours. Nice. How do I look okay? Do I look like a journalist?
Yeah. Come here, let me see those pockets. Oh, very nice. Those will fit a nice little moleskin in there.
I can fit my little notepad. Yeah, when I take my little notes. And but yeah, I got like a really rounded, like super rounded view of it, like from both sides. Like people like really fucking hate this guy, but then there are people who like idolize him. Like
they idolized the guy in the book, or they idolized Noriega?
Noriega.
I mean, it's kind of similar to what we're seeing right now, because like any sort of dictator, like any sort of authoritarian figure, you know, they rely on like, I mean, what was Noriega's kind of like big thing? Like what, I imagine like any other dictator, he has like his set of boogeymen that he says are constantly trying to evade? Like, would he talk about the United States, even though he was a United States asset?
It's like really complicated with him because what he essentially did was he did favors for the U.S. government and the CIA. So they would, I summarize it like this: when America needed to take out their trash in Latin America, they called Noriega so that their hands didn't get dirty.
Okay.
So for instance, and I wasn't the first person to find this. Noriega wrote this in his memoir, but in the early 70s was this horrible sort of assassination basically in Cuba where this CIA guy went into this fishing town and just opened fire, right? But the Cubans captured him, Castro captured him, and then the CIA called Noriega. They're like, hey, we need you to get this guy back for us. And this is the CIA is basically asking for a mass murderer to be just let go for free. And Noriega basically was just fine, I'll do you this favor, I'll go to Cuba and meet with Castro.
No way.
Yeah, and negotiate the return. So it's just that's just intelligence to my knowledge. It's kind of like a business, you're paying for information, in a lot of ways it is ideological, especially when it came to the spread of communism and all of those things that the US government talked about very publicly. A lot of times with Noriega it was backdoor stuff, nothing was really documented, it was really shady shit.
But that's what most far right people, I assume he was a far right, because any sort of, they're trying to stop any sort of socialism in Latin America. I've talked about on this show the book A Jaguar Smile by Salman Rushdie, talking about Nicaragua, the way the Sandinistas then rose up and started more of a socialist revolution. The Sandinistas are still in power right now, however, recent developments would say that it's not going so well for them, considering one of the the president's wife is now trying to take control
Oh really?
Yeah, without being elected.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't know, when you talk about backdoor deals, right? When it comes to a dictator or authoritarianism, the government doesn't work as an apparatus for the people, it works as a sort of an apparatus for him, right? It's a business. Most of the economy, I imagine, off the books. Do you know what I mean?
It's it was a real puppet state. Even a lot of people from Panama are we're basically the 51st state of the US, because they're American, domestic policy in the US affects Panama so much. It just sort of is what it is. I don't think
it is what it is, dog.
Yeah, there's not too much to look into that there, but with the with the rise of Noriega and nationalism and all that sort of stuff, it was pretty split. It was probably I would say there were more people who were anti-Noriega than pro.
Right.
But obviously that's what a dictator does. He just grabs power. But that being said, I don't go into this book being this the entire time. I take Carlo, the right-hand man's testimony and all these other testimonies of stories that have never been heard, and then put the two images side by side so that they can test each other, and then hopefully from that births a new narrative that is much clearer than the one that we already have, which is basically just the US government being this guy was a super evil dictator who we just had to get him out of the throne. You know what I mean? But there was way more.
Because they removed him forcibly.
But yeah, US courts indicted him, and then they came in to arrest him technically. It's wacky.
We'll talk about the guy that you interviewed who's the main part of this book. Why does his backstory, why is he deciding to spill the beans now?
Well, so his name was Carlos Whitgreen, and he was the right hand of Noriega.
Carlos Whitgreen?
Yeah.
Carlos Schmengbacher?
It doesn't sound like a Latin name at all, huh?
But yeah, Carlos Smith.
It's a German name.
It's just some guy from fucking Beverly, Mass.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, how are you? Yeah, no, actually, my mother is 1/16th Panamanian. Here I am.
This guy was definitely not a Beverly, Mass.
Okay, I'm sorry I said that. If you grew up in Beverly, Mass, you're a pussy. You're a pussy and a bitch.
He was one of a kind. But no, he was Noriega's right-hand man. He just he rose through the ranks with him, under his wing, the entire time. But Carlos actually died a few months ago. So this is
wow,
his last living testimony. It's wild.
That is crazy. The fact that you got that inside knowledge, what was it like hanging out with him?
So intimidating. It was so nuts. He was a lot of fun, but like I don't really speak Spanish that well, and like I had a translator sometimes, but you know, most of the time we would just like start drinking really, really early. And then we would like start, like we would have great conversation. Like we would basically speak in like Spanglish most of the time. And then, but then like as we would continue to drink, like things would get like a little bit more volatile. And like if I contested him on something, he'd get like really mad. But like he was the kind of guy, he was just like very convicted. Like he had a lot of conviction. So if he said something, like he believed it. And if you contested him on it, like he would just like double down so hard. So you had to like pick your battles kind of thing.
I mean, a man speaking Spanish to you with conviction, especially an older man who has seen countless atrocities.
Yeah.
Sounds like an awesome time, dude.
It was sweet,
sounds fucking sweet.
Yeah. He would, you know, I would record everything and like transcribe it, so I didn't miss anything in conversation. I'd always have like notes for the next day, but he would like bring his friends over who were like former guys in the Noriega regime, and they would all tell stories.
So these guys love to get on the piss, is what you're trying to tell me.
Most of them do. I mean, Carlos went out swinging, like that guy was like an old bull.
Yeah.
Dude, he was like an old bull. Like he just like went like right up until the day he died.
He would just go for it. I mean, these guys must start drinking pretty early.
I think so.
I mean, what else do they have going on? Do they have?
Yeah.
I mean, the government pension they set up themselves, so they could. So they're going to be good to go for their entire lives.
He's just like so instinctual. I think he just like did what he wanted his whole life.
I know. How did he rise through the ranks, you think?
Just under Noriega's wing, but he got opportunities because of Noriega. So he was trained by Mossad in like the early 70s.
No kidding.
Yeah. Then he was like one of the first like Latin American DEA agents in Latin America, one of the first DEA agents in Latin America, because the drug trade was like popping off in the early 70s, and the US was like, this is going to be a big problem for us, so we need to have guys like down there. And Carlos and a big group of other Panamanians were like among the first people. And then he was also like kind of a spy for Castro and for Noriega. Like he just like he dabbled in a lot of different pockets.
I like that a lot. So he positioned himself as a fixer for many people.
And that's basically what Noriega was too. That's actually a great like
a fixer
sort of like description of what he did. He fixed problems for like the US, like really bad problems.
And a nation so young such as Panama, right? I mean, it hasn't really been along too long.
No, that's the same amount of time as Ireland. Like
a
little over 100 years.
Okay, our first round of skewers are ready, or is everyone ready to eat?
You ready?
Here we go.
All right.
It's for you.
Wow, okay.
It's just like you're at the Hong Kong in Boston. We have multiple rounds. I mean, we have so much to talk about.
Nice. These are good.
I put a little Szechuan sauce on this. Not Szechuan, gochujang.
Yeah, this is nice. Is this your first shrimp on the show?
We did shrimp our very third episode with Robbie Hoffman.
Damn.
And she was like, this is phenomenal. Oh my God. She freaked. It's really good though.
It's good. Yeah.
Shrimp rocks. I eat all the time for dinner, dude, honestly. You go to Ralph's, hey, inside baseball, inside hack here, get the shrimp. Get the containers of shrimp, like the ones that they have out from the meat counter, and just put 2 in the freezer, and then you're good to go.
Salmon would have been really tough to eat.
Oh, we've done salmon before. Salmon does well. Ask Emmett.
With knives and forks? Or you just use your hands?
Cube it up. Sandwich.
Oh, I like the salmon cubes.
Salmon cubes, sandwich. Really nice.
Yeah.
First skewers down, grill back. Let's get back to talking about some freaking guys. Let's get back to talking about guys being dudes.
What are you doing with the skewers?
We're actually using them like big long cigarettes.
Damn. Okay.
Hello. I have a big long cigarette over here. Where's Kenny going?
He quit.
He quit.
Kenny quit. Look at Kenny quitting. Hey.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, we ran out of battery on my phones. And we're like, Kenny, we use your phone? He goes, I mean, do we have to? I mean, I go, it'd be nice. Now he's quitting because he can't, because he doesn't want to, he wasn't to help out. But we have multiple rounds of skewers here today, and that's what's most important. So let's talk about our boy, Carlos.
Okay.
Carlos, I mean, he really is trying to just, what was the question I wanted to ask? What was the question you want to ask, Emmett?
I want to hear more about living there in Panama.
And doing it there?
Yeah.
So honestly, the first part of the book is about this. It's pretty interesting. But I basically went down to Panama, I was living with you and
yeah, you were living with us.
Santa Monica. And I didn't have enough money for the next month of rent, basically. And I was freaking out. And
dude, every day in that house, we were all like, who's going to pay rent?
Yeah,
None of us had any money.
No.
And we were like, what are we going to do? Liam's like, I might get deported.
Liam was genuinely worried about getting deported.
Yeah, Liam was about to get deported.
And it was a really bad time, but Jack called me and he was like, hey, I saw you just wrote a book. Or it was my fourth book. And he's like, I think I've got access to the story in Panama. Would you be down to talk to one of the guys? So I called this guy, Jose Goldner, who has, basically just been behind me the entire time. It's the whole reason why I was able to do this. But I fly down to Panama on a whim, a couple days later, never been. I do kind of speak Spanish. I'm able to get by conversationally, but I had a translator there too. But I met Carlos, didn't know him, anything about him. And Carlos just after an hour of chatting, he just said he basically just said, he told me I would do a good job. He was just you will do a good job. So then...
That's what a dictator does. Yeah. They don't go I hope you enjoy it. They go you will do a good job.
But honestly, he was super cool when I met him. I was pretty down. And then
I'm not like other dictators, okay? I love photography.
Well, he was a right-hand man of a dictator.
I know. Yeah. I'm doing a bit. Damn it. No, I can't do bits. That's our one rule. Fuck!
You can't do bits.
Alec, sit in your chair. Cillian, can you flip him over?
You have to flip me.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a rule, sorry. I don't make the rules. Alec actually.
Which way do you want to be flipped?
It was right from the front. I earned this, I deserve it.
You want it like this? Okay.
No, from this, you have to flip me over.
I gotta flip you back?
Yeah.
All right, hey, I'm really sorry.
Ha, ha, ha!
Here, come on.
I broke my back. Jesus. Oh, no. No.
We'll clip this back up.
I got it. I got you.
Nice.
See, friends that help each other stay together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad we did that because I would be a bad guy. I'd be a bad guy if I didn't stick to my fucking guns.
Why do you have that rule?
Just because, comedians sometimes will get on the podcast or come on my podcast thinking that this is now we're just gonna do bits. And I have I don't want any comedian to have pressure to be funny. I just want them to come on and relax.
Got it.
Relax. We're coming on here and I just want to hear you talk about the right-hand man to a dictator. Now, before we get into that, no, actually, let's just get into that.
Okay. Yeah, well, okay, so we have that little lunch, we all meet, and then we hop in a pickup truck and we go 6 to 7 hours into rural Panama to this beach house. And we spend the next few weeks there interviewing Carlos. I have a little recorder. I've got my transcripts every day. I'm spending all day, every day, researching, interviewing, doing everything. And I was supposed to be there for much longer, but then the country breaks out into civil unrest. A month of me being there, so all of the highways were shut down because protesters were stopping all the traffic, all supply chains stopped, gas stations didn't have gas, grocery stores didn't have groceries. It was a mess, and it lasted for 2 months or something. But in the first few days we're in the middle of nowhere, and the US embassy is if you're a US citizen, you got to get out of here.
Oh,
and
really?
So I call Jose and I'm what do we do? And he's you need to flee in the middle of the night, basically. So we drive through the country in the middle of the night, get stopped by protesters I think twice for several hours at a time, and then we eventually get back to the city. I go to a hotel, I could get a flight 3 days later, so I camp out I think it was on like the 17th floor of this hotel, like looking down at the streets, like filled with all of these like protesters wearing like balaclavas and like shooting fireworks and guns into these, not a lot of guns, but I heard there were a couple, you know, handguns being shot, but mostly fireworks, people just like chanting. So I go out one night just to check it out.
Yeah, and let's see what's going on.
I'm out there for like 5 minutes before I'm like, this is the fucking dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. And and I just like walk back to the hotel. And I think I went to the airport. My flight was at like 2 p.m. I went to the airport at like 3 a.m. just because I was so scared I'd be stopped by like protesters and I couldn't like leave or whatever. But it was fine. It was fine overall. Like it was like mostly peaceful. I think it did get testy in some parts of the country, but like I was fine. But it was like my first introduction to Panama, so I had to leave. I came back to LA. I was like couch surfing on like Alec and I's friends' couches.
I remember that.
And yeah, it was a pretty brutal time. And then I would like go from LA to Panama like quite often and like stay with the right-hand man in his apartment and stuff like that and like interview him and his buddies. And then while I was there, I would interview like journalists and authors and like American soldiers that were like in like there during that time. So I got like a super rounded view, but like the right-hand man was like the anchor of it all, because it's 2/3 of it's told from his perspective, so it's like the behind the scenes stuff that like nobody really knows, and then 1/3 of it is like me learning about all the stuff, my thoughts and feelings, and then like my journey like through all because some of it was like really crazy shit where like it got like it got risky like from time to time, but once like the documents came into play, like when I met the guy that like basically we uncovered like several hundred like documents from this guy Jose Hilario Trujillo, who he held them in his possession for like decades, but Noriega gave them to him in the 90s, I believe, and they're like letters, like correspondence from the DEA to Noriega, like CIA, Department of Justice, and
they're doing that because he goes, if I go down, if they try and take me, release all this.
It's like total like collateral. So like there was a 60 Minutes interview in like 1987 or 88, like right before Noriega was indicted by the US government. And the 60 Minutes interviewer like goes into Noriega's office. Noriega opens this like little black book, and he starts sifting through letters from the DEA, from like the administrator of the DEA, and he's like, look, he's like, they love me, like they keep congratulating me and all of my drug busts, like they keep saying like, thank you for your hard work, like thank you for your like commitment to our shared cause, and like they just, you know, I don't call the documents like revelations by any means, but they just like, they clearly tell like a truer story than what the US or like what the story people know now is like Noriega comes into power. He did work for the CIA, but like the CIA never really wanted to work with him, and he just sort of became rogue, and people put him in like the same box as like Pablo Escobar.
Right.
When he was really Noriega wanted to be like Fidel Castro.
Right.
But people put him in the same box as Pablo Escobar, and it's like, it's totally wrong.
Because of was it because he was allowing such illicit drug trade throughout his country?
Yeah, you know, there's, because like, why would you have documentation about like backdoor stuff? There's like little proof, but I've had testimonials from so many people that are like, yeah, like Noriega would let, for a payment, you know, like a back pocket payment or whatever, he would like let certain planes come through Panama and fly to the US and like not check them for drugs and just get like an envelope filled with cash. So he totally benefited from all that stuff, but that's not really the focus of this. This is really more to do with like US Panamanian relations, and what the overall theme is. This book is like the framework for how the US government and CIA have, and I assume still does, like pick a foreign strongman, a foreign leader, builds them up, gives them everything that they need, puts them in place, uses them, extracts everything from that nation, and then kicks them out of their throne, only to repeat the cycle again. And if you look all around the world, like so many different countries have had, like when their like civil war breaks out and like a coup breaks out against their government, it's usually just like the US or Russia behind either side.
Yeah.
It's like a total proxy. So, you know, it's not just the US that does this, like other nations do it all the time. But
you can also see it in Syria, dude. Remember when it was like, you know,
yeah,
because like Bashar, like the Syrian president, Bashar like he just was recently toppled, but that's because Russia was just propping him up the entire time.
Yeah.
And the United States was fighting with the rebels.
Yeah.
And now the United States, like they had like finally Russia was like too I feel like I'm ruining all the very insightful things you just said by
No.
now talking.
No, I would rather that, because I don't know everything. I was a super blank slate coming into the Panama thing. Like, I've just like spent like every day of the last 2 years just like working on it. But you can see the same thing happen like all over the world, and even like right now, like in Venezuela with Maduro, like all that stuff. Not that it's the exact same situation, because he was like really socialist, like right from the get-go, and he was like Hugo Chavez's like right hand and his VP. You know, like, we're sending warships to Venezuela. There's like a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head. Like, it's just like, it's pretty nuts.
Did we have Hugo Chavez in place? Did we already?
I don't think so.
I know we were getting a shit ton of oil from Venezuela.
Totally, yeah. And then, like, what I assume is happening is that now there's like a threat to that oil. I think China's probably the threat. And because the Chinese are like supplying Maduro and his army with like weapons and like machinery and like artillery and stuff like that. So now the US are, you know, strong arming them and sending like troops and whatnot there. And I don't know too much about it. And, you know, Maduro's definitely like not a good leader. Like, his people are starving and like poor as shit. But, you know, the Noriega story is just one of many. I don't think the Maduro one is like an exact copy of that, but like Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, all of those guys. This looks good. Yeah. All right.
What goes great with geopolitics? Shrimp.
It does.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, boys. Here we go. Second round. We'll do a quick thumbnail, and then I'll get everybody fed. Come over here, Kill.
It's fire.
This one's a little bit more olive oily.
I like it. I like it a lot. You must have read like some CIA books though, or like stories with those like kind of like historic crossovers or political crossovers.
One of my favorites is Everybody Who Is Gone Is Here, which is actually more of a look at immigration. However, you get a feeling that a lot of these regimes, these brutal regimes in South America are very much like a plug-and-play operation by the CIA to put people in place that are favorable to the United States interests. And the people that end up fleeing are the ones that are like then punished. are like they flee because they are constantly punished by these new regimes.
Yeah.
You want more? I got...
I'll hit another skewer.
Hit another skewer. Everybody want one extra?
How many are left? Y'all have it.
You want one?
Or can
No, all you guys. Thank you.
When is the book out and what is it called?
The book comes out on November 4th. It's called The Right-Hand Man.
Why don't you pop a squat? We can talk about, because I want to see some of these docs. It's document time, okay? We're lucky enough to have an exclusive drop of some documents. We brought the docs.
I brought 4 documents. I printed them out at UPS.
InfoWars can't even touch our shit, dude.
Yeah.
We have the real documents.
It's only 4 of them, and they're, like I said, they're not revelations or anything crazy, but they are like they're letters of correspondence between Noriega and the DEA.
I'm glad we filmed this on an iPhone so everyone can see this.
Yeah.
Okay, this one says, Dear General Noriega, recent intelligence obtained by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration discloses that since January of 1984, Panama has been utilized by cocaine trafficking organizations as a conduit for either being shipped from all over the world to clandestine laboratories in Colombia and elsewhere in Latin America. Your recent enforcement action in seizing and destroying either is a notable one, which will ultimately impact the world's illicit supply of cocaine, MCL. Thus far, the United States has seized approximately 2,147 drums of ether. Coupled with your superb efforts, we have a positive impact on international cocaine traveling. Besides that, what else is going on? I haven't seen you since our tennis game when I was down in Panama.
No.
I'm just reading the letter.
No, please.
Can I finish?
Fine.
You really improved your backhand. I have to say, when you come up to DC, we have to play a match together. Get the wives together. Ha ha. Smiley face. Sincerely, Francis M. Mullen Jr., Administrator, U.S. Department of Justice. Let's read another one, shall we?
No. Let me pick the
Nah, we're good.
the next best one.
I can read it. Right here. Colonel Noriega, kindly permit to me to express our appreciation and thanks to your office for assistance rendered during the past week, which resulted in the arrest of 2 Colombian traffickers that were planning, with others, to smuggle 100 kilograms of cocaine hydrochloride into the United States. This is dated March 14, 1978. Due to the efficient and professionalism of your men, we were able to obtain additional intelligence of this major drug smuggling organization. And I want to particularly commend Lieutenant Jorge Latinez, Sergeant Santos, and Counterintelligence Agents 1 through 12 and 1 through 7 for an outstanding job. You never responded to my last letter. I didn't want you to feel weird about asking about your tennis game. It just seems like you and I have a connection, and I feel as strange about it as you might. Besides that, I miss your smell. Sincerely yours, Arthur M. Cedillo, Special Agent in Charge of Drug Enforcement Intelligence.
Nice.
This is very indicting. Here we go. Last document. Colonel Noriega, leave her.
That isn't a document.
Leave her. I can see a future with you and I. Forget Panama. Forget DC. I walk with you in my mind every morning on the River Seine, thinking of baguettes, espresso, and scarves that we buy at a secondhand market. Thank you very much for your consideration in this matter, and I will remain. Arthur M. Cedillo.
Not a letter. Totally off the cuff. You're gonna get me killed.
These are cool, man. I mean, it's really like fascinating because I remember when you would be like, I'm going down to Panama to go interview an old Army general for Noriega's thing. I think my exact words were, "Dude, no way."
Yeah, and your reaction is in the book, by the way.
No way.
Yeah,
no, it's not. Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God, I talk about like what I felt like after getting that phone call and then like sitting on the couch in our living room. Like, you guys had no idea that I just got a call to like come down to Panama and do this. I was like shitting my pants, like sitting on the couch. We were watching like probably some fucking stupid YouTube live music video. and then I was like, oh, by the way, like Jack called today. He said that like there's an opportunity to do this, but like Manuel Noriega. And then you were like, the Dictator? It's in the book. Yeah. It's in the book. Yeah. Because it was awesome. It was so funny. But then I remember you guys were like, oh yeah, you'd be like stupid not to go.
Yeah, we were like, you gotta go.
Yeah,
dude.
And then I went like 3 days later.
2 minutes later, we're like, so J-Mo's tonight or?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, let's.
I got banged up last night. We could figure something else out, but
yeah.
Let's smoke a bowl and then figure it out.
Yeah. Let's put on the Gladiator.
Cool stuff though, Kill. Yeah, good stuff though, Kill. Yeah. Cool.
Nobody knew. Yeah.
It is, dude, it is fascinating, man. I'm so proud of you for making this transition as a novelist to go into journalism like this. Is very cool.
Thanks, dude.
You should be very happy with yourself, very proud.
Thanks. Yeah.
We're struggling artists, man. It was really cool. Like, even just like when we were living together, it was like I would just got to LA and then you were writing every day and I was just going to mics and figuring my shit out.
It was fun. It was like
it was fun.
It was stressful at times, but it was more fun than anything else.
Yeah, because we were all together.
Yeah. That was the best part about it, actually. It was like it was the perfect size apartment that like we never were actually on top of each other.
Yeah.
But we were like always sort of like in the same place.
We figured out how to get to the roof.
Figured out how to get on the roof. The Butter Boys.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we became the Butter Boys.
The Butter Boys, dude. We were the Butter Boys on the roof.
Yeah, on the roof.
That was such a good time, dude.
It was fun.
Man, I can't wait to see. You're gonna be in Dublin, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be in Dublin with me.
Yeah.
Cillian's actually gonna be doing a live reading of his book at my Dublin show.
The entire book.
The entire book.
Yeah.
Deeper, Noriega says. I'm kidding, guys. It's a comedy podcast, okay? Except when I want to be serious. What are some things that you learned about Noriega that maybe about like his personal life that really surprised you?
It's like the biggest thing with Noriega that it's like really interesting, and I just after like interviewing so many people and like being in the world for like 2 years, I guess, which isn't as long as others, but I think I know it pretty well. But Noriega like really went to the grave with like a lot of his like really dirty secrets. Like he really was like, he was of like this era where intelligence was like, he held his cards like really close to his chest, and like, you know, I'm sure he told Carlos some cool stuff that's in the book, but the really like dirty stuff, like he definitely didn't like divulge to anyone.
Okay.
But what I've heard from certain people that I find really interesting is, like, on the one hand, I heard that he was really big into like witchcraft, and there were rumors of him, you know, making his loyal people do like blood oaths and stuff like that.
Whoa.
But that also, like, the sources of that are kind of wacky, because a lot of those sources come from like US military, supposedly. So I partially think, like, was that just like propaganda or like anti-Noriega statements that the US media was putting out there, like right before the US invasion, like, or was it like a real thing? Because that witchcraft stuff is like the Afro-Caribbean culture, like the Santeria religion, like all that stuff. It's not witchcraft, of course, but it's like, you know, to a couple of gringos like us, like it seems like witchcraft. That's like, but Noriega was apparently really big into that. And then like they told me like a bunch of like little wacky stories. Like one of them said that every St. Patrick's Day, Noriega would dress up as a leprechaun and drink whiskey and dance to like Irish music.
You must have been fired up about that one.
And I was pretty fucked up when they told me that story. And I like whipped out my phone and I like texted my whole family, and I texted like Jose and Jack, and I was like, "You're not gonna fucking believe this," like as if I like cracked the code. And they were like, nobody cared except for me. I thought it was, I just thought it was really funny. But yeah, most of the stuff is, like, I don't call it revelations, but it's just like, this is like a super well informed, like super well researched, brand new narrative of like the whole thing, and like I did like a pretty bang up job writing it. Like the chapters where it's from Carlos' perspective are like, it reads like a political thriller. Like it's super exciting.
I love that.
Like the beats come really fast. Like all the stories are like stories he told me, but they're like really fucking cool and interesting, and like they cross over with like, you know, like the American Made story, like the Barry Seal story, and like there's so many little crossovers that you're just like, man, this guy is sort of like, you know, like his life is like Forrest Gumpy. He was sort of there.
He was
for, like,
Gumpus.
a lot of these like really big events. Yeah, Gumpus.
He was Gumpus.
Yeah.
My Gumpy Wumpy.
Sort of, yeah. But he was Forrest Gumpy, yeah, like that sort of.
He was Forrest
Yeah,
Gump.
he was there.
Imagine
like for all these
somebody
like
Forrest Gump.
all these like.
You're kind of like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
What? Have autism?
You know what I mean? No, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Dude, I dug myself a little hole, but I know the American people know what I mean. The good American people.
The good American people. Okay, before we do our only segment, I need you to cut a promo for me for Dublin. Yeah,
I'll do my best.
Okay, take the sunglasses off. Act like you want to be
it's getting a little. It's still kind of bright, but.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
The sincerity. My friend Alec Flynn is performing at the Sugar Club for the first time ever. His first comedy show in Ireland. Alec loves Ireland more than any American I've ever met in my entire life. He's got horrible Irish tattoos covering his body, but it comes from a place of love, not like a place of cringe, I promise. No, like in all seriousness, Alec's gonna absolutely kill us. He just loves Irish culture so much. he knows more Irish music than I do. There was one really embarrassing moment where Alec got on stage and he asked me to join him and sing an Irish song, and I couldn't do it, and you could. So if anybody deserves the crowd at a show in Ireland, it's this comedian, Alec Flynn.
That's some good crack.
Yeah.
That's some
And
good crack.
I mean it.
Ah!
I love Alec. I've known him my whole life. But
I love you too.
I'm looking
Gil.
forward to this so much. I'm flying home to Ireland like specifically for this, across the Atlantic. So I'm dying to go.
You're goddamn right. I love you. That was really sweet.
Yeah, hey,
thank you so much.
Came from the heart.
You remember we did that? I remember that show. It was in like the nightclub.
It was in like the really weird nightclub.
It was a really weird nightclub in LA.
Yeah.
This guy tried to get me to go. He's like, dude, I'm trying to create like SNL, but in LA. I go, what?
And it was so poorly run.
It was so bad, dude. It was this
awful.
guy. He's just set up a bunch of couches for influencers to sit on. And it was just a bunch of influencers. The entire room is lit up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I told you and Liam, I'm like, you guys have to come to this because like I need someone to witness how bad this is gonna be.
It was pretty bad.
It was so funny, dude. I got on stage, I just kept being like, hello, anybody there?
Who was that guy? And it was like his first time doing comedy, but he was from like a Disney.
Yeah, there was a
Disney
guy from, I think his name's, it was not Matthew Perry.
Definitely wasn't Matthew Perry.
If it was Matthew Perry, I would have known.
Yeah.
But it was some kid, but he got up there, he stood on the stool. He sat on the stool. I remember that, and I went,
Yeah.
Look at this fucking guy. It's his first time doing stand-up. He's sitting on the stool. What is this?
And his set was like 30 minutes long.
It was so bad. He just kept on being like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
Here's the thing about my kitchen, okay? Not everything's where it's supposed to be. I wanted to kill myself.
It was really tough.
Okay, it's time for our only segment. Here we go. Start clapping. Start clapping. All right, start clapping, everybody. Start clapping. Here we go. Real man of genius. Here's to you, Bobby Sands. Here's to you, Bobby Sands. An integral part of the IRA's fight for getting the Brits out of Northern Ireland and stopping sectarian violence in Belfast. You did the best you could. You were the guy that did the hunger strike and you were detained by the British, and you were not allowed to go and have a fair trial in Ireland. I am remembering these facts as I say them. You were force-fed food because you kept on hunger striking and then eventually passed away. That's also true, I can tell by Cillian nodding. I can't believe I remembered all of this in real time. So here's to you, Bobby Sands. I will be in Dublin commemorating you. Up the raw. You are this week's real man of genius.
That was lovely.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, your turn.
No.
Yeah, it's your turn. You have to do a
Dude,
guy.
I'm not doing that.
You have to do a guy. Find a guy. Who's your real man of genius this week?
I don't know. I don't know what this is.
It's just a real man of genius. This is someone you want to shout out.
Who do I want to shout out this week?
Yeah, as a real man of genius. You should say Michael because you're sleeping on his couch.
I could say Michael Frick.
Okay,
Sleeping on his couch.
now do the voice.
Hi, I'm Michael Frick.
No, not his.
He's gonna hate that. I don't know how to do it, but thank you, Michael, for letting me stay on your couch.
Not do his voice. Do the song.
I'm not doing the song.
You have to do the song.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, you're a cool journalist wearing a French tour coat.
No.
Doesn't want to do the song now.
I don't want to do it. I'm too shy.
Fucking lame, man.
Too
Unbelievable.
shy. There's too many people
I get
around.
up here and I sing a beautiful rendition for one of your national heroes, and you say, "Boo."
I'm not doing the song. I can't do it. It's not going to sound good.
I bet it'll sound great.
I'm not confident in singing the song.
Unbelievable, dude.
The segment's over.
You're ending the segment? Segment back on. Do it.
I'm Alec Flynn. Thank you for listening.
No.
It's getting dark out.
It's getting dark and I want to go. He eats his shrimp. He wants to leave. All right. Guys, real quick before we do our final word, tour dates. As you know, I will be in, as you know from Cillian, I will be in Dublin, October 29th, but also I'll be in London, October 24th, Manchester, October 26th, and Edinburgh, October 27th. Please, for the love of God, get tickets to those shows. I really would love to have a good time, and I really can't wait to see you. After that, big one, New York City. Big one, man. Big one, November 14th, Gramercy Theater. Please come through to that. I think we could sell it out. I'm going to knock on metal.
It's not metal.
What do you mean?
Plastic.
This is not plastic.
Oh, this part is.
Guy doesn't want to do the segment. Guy doesn't want to do the segment over here. Tell me what's plastic, what isn't. Anyway, after that, I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina on November, I believe, 19th. And then in Wilmington, North Carolina, November 21st to the 23rd. That'll be a lot of fun. It might even be shorter than that, but just check those out, Wilmington, North Carolina. We may also be adding New Orleans, Louisiana around Thanksgiving time. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I don't have any plans.
Dude, should we all get the squad and go to New Orleans?
I'm so down.
Because I have a weekend of shows there. We could all just all of us stay in the comedy apartment.
I love New Orleans.
It would be kind of a fun time.
Yeah, that'd be really
if you guys just get flights.
Yeah, I'm so down.
Could be sick. And Portsmouth, New Hampshire, December 11th, we're going to be doing that. And then Boston dates are going to be up on my website at this point for Christmas time. Should be a blast. My final word, everybody, is make sure you are keeping in touch with your friends. I know this is the last big push. It is engaged before the holiday season. Everyone's working, pumpkin spice in my ass. Guess what? Pumpkin spice, talk to me nice. And call your friends, okay? If I hadn't reached out to damn Cillian or Cillian hadn't reached out to me, we might have been two ships in the night.
Yeah.
I love this man. That's the craziest thing. We need to make sure we're just keeping in touch with our boys, especially as the holidays come around, because we don't want to be sending that last minute text around Thanksgiving or Christmas. Yo, you around? Yo, yeah, dude, you're catching me. Oh, no, I got family shit. I got family shit. Text your friends, okay? Call them. So, that's my final word today. Call and text your friends. I love you all very dearly. We're in the middle of military fascism, and as always, suck me from the back.
Thank you. Thank you.